Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Bio here, and I got some Black Ops. Going to be playing on Array, some Domination, and I believe this game I am using the AUG. Yes, indeed, going to be using the AUG. And I believe also that I have host this game. Yes, I do. God mode engaged. All right. But not going to talk about the gameplay too much here. I wanted to kind of focus on other things, especially in lieu of the fact that a lot of information has been starting to be leaked, about Modern Warfare 3. And so that kind of the hype train has been a-rolling. It's been picking up some steam. I mean, the developers have been releasing more and more information on perks and weapons and all that kind of stuff onto Twitters and other things like that, and also some trailers that we've seen. And so I kind of wanted to actually take a look back, a little bit of nostalgia, if you will, at previous Call of Duty titles. And I didn't really want to focus on any one Call of Duty title, but rather just kind of the series as a whole, at least over the past three or 4 years or so. And I wanted to pose the question of, why is Call of Duty so popular? Why does Call of Duty see the success that it currently has, or why does it have the success it currently has? And keep in mind, guys, this is not a bashing video. This is not a, I think Call of Duty sucks, Kermit the Frog here, and trying to, bash it, think it, it's terrible, faking gay, that kind of crap. So that is not the point of this video at all. It's to pose legitimate questions about why I think that, or legitimate questions and some answers about why I think the Call of Duty series has seen the popularity it has, and also to invite anyone to give their opinions as well, because I'm definitely open to suggestions or ideas. So feel free to post your own opinions in the comments. Obviously, try and keep them intelligent and not just not just dumb. But you get what I'm saying about that. The internet can be a rather dumb place when it comes to posting comments and opinions, and so let's try to tone down the dumbness factor just a little bit. But anyway, so I think one of the biggest appealing aspects about Call of Duty, and actually before I should get into that, we should just kind of look at the numbers here. So at any one point, whenever I hop onto Black Ops and I see the amount of people playing, there's usually around 500 to 600,000 people playing. I've never seen it dip below 500,000 at any one point, and this is just for the Xbox. So maybe I'm just always on at a high traffic, high peak time area. I don't know, but I have always seen it at more than 500,000. And that's pretty ridiculous that at any one point there's at least 500,000 people playing your game, and that's only online. That doesn't include campaign, but I doubt there's too many people playing a campaign at any given point. I mean, the number's probably so low that it's probably negligible. So, and then also you have to factor in the PS3 on top of that, which is probably similar to that of the Xbox's number, maybe a little bit less, and then also the PC people on top of that as well. So once you factor all that in, at any one given point, there's probably about 1 million people playing Black Ops online, which is just an absurd number to be playing one game at any one point. I mean, at least a game like this, maybe not, can't compare it to like World of Warcraft or something, but for a game like this, I think that's pretty astounding. And when you compare that to another game, for example, let's just say Halo Reach. Let's throw it out there. Halo Reach, at any one given point, I've seen typically a little bit over 100,000 people online. Just a little bit. Sometimes it dips below 100,000. So that's quite an astounding comparison to make, that at any one point, Black Ops has 5 times as many people online as Halo Reach when you just compare Xbox to Xbox. When you factor in the PS3 and the PC, Black Ops has about 10 times as many people online. So that's quite ridiculous for me, because I mean, Black Ops is definitely not 5 or 10 times the game that Halo Reach is, and obviously that's not really a fair comparison to make. That's kind of using faulty logic, but I figure I'd go ahead and throw that out there anyways. But I mean, they're both good games in their own right, but they're very different games as well. So I think there's something about the way that Black Ops is, even though they're both good games, something about Black Ops that makes it so much more appealing than games like Halo or Crisis or Killzone, something like that. So, and I think one of the biggest reasons that Call of Duty has seen the success it sees is the way that it deals with respawning and punishing you for failure in the game. In terms of punishment, there is very little punishment dealt out for this game. I mean, if you die, you respawn within practically a second, depending on the game type, which you have the option of picking. I mean, you can do capture the flag and search and destroy, but you see those game types and they don't have nearly as many people in them as the standard team deathmatch or ground war, domination, and so on and so forth. But so I think that's one aspect that Call of Duty has done right in terms of bringing more people in. It's just that quick accessibility when it comes to respawning. And I think that kind of jives really well with the way industrialized society is moving, where everything's quicker, faster now, you know. We can make a bigger, faster, stronger. No, so I think that kind of jives well with the way that we're moving, and so that's definitely an appealing factor of the game. You know, whereas other games like Crysis, Gears of War, Halo, Killzone, games that have respawn counts, you know, it's kind of sucks. You know, you die and you gotta wait, you know, 10, 15 seconds before you can respawn again. That's kind of a bummer. You can't get right back into the action. I personally like that, because then I can actually look back and, you know, see, you know, wait, what did I do wrong? Why did I die? And try and improve from that. Where if Call of Duty's like, wait, what did I do wrong? Oh, I'm already back. Okay. You're already back into the action. You don't have any time to really think about what you did wrong or what you did right. So I personally like that, but on the flip side, though, Call of Duty can be a very punishing game in the fact that if you make a mistake, even the tiniest mistake is punished practically instantly with death. And so, in that regard, I'm kind of surprised that Call of Duty sees the popularity it sees, because this is not a very accessible game to new people, and it seems like a what statement? What are you talking about? Of course it is. But I remember when I first started playing, for the first 2 weeks, I would go negative every single game, even though I came over from Halo, and so I could aim really well. My reflexes just weren't good enough. I just didn't know the routes to run, where all the snipers were. I mean, it was very, very frustrating for me the first 2 weeks I started seriously getting into COD, which was the first few weeks of Modern Warfare 2, I believe. Maybe it was about a month into Modern Warfare 2. It was very, very frustrating. I was going negative every single game. So. And, you know, I was, like I said, I had played a lot of Halo beforehand, so I kind of picked up a little bit faster than I think most people would. So on that regard, I'm kind of surprised that so many people continue to play the game past that mark, past that learning curve. Because while it's not incredibly steep, it is a very frustrating learning curve and multiplayer-wise. So I'm surprised that there are as many people that continue to play it as they do. Another reason why I believe that Call of Duty sees the popularity it sees is the fact that a lot of the weapons are real-life counterparts to weapons that exist now or have existed in the past. And obviously they're not exactly the same. I mean, some weapons look a little different. Some weapons are semi-automatic when they're supposed to be fully, or burst fire when they're supposed to be single, and so on and so forth. I realize they're not the same. But I think people are attracted to that, attracted to both the guns and also the way the game kind of moves around and kind of is realistic to a certain extent. Obviously the game is not realistic to real life, but you guys get the point I'm making. It is somewhat realistic in the way you move around and the way that you can work with teammates if you so choose. And then obviously on top of that, you have what I'm doing right now, which is kill streaks, which is another thing that the game has done right. And it's always a balancing issue, though. You know, I can't make them too powerful. As long as people are shooting them down, it's not too bad, which I just got shot down, I believe. But so, I mean, I think Call of Duty does have a lot of things going for it, but I still wish that the gaming population was a little bit more spread out, a little bit more diverse, because it seems that there is too much into Call of Duty, not enough in other games. Once again, not bashing Call of Duty, not saying it's a bad game. It is a good game. I just don't believe it's that much of a better game, or perhaps not even a better game than other games in the shooter category that it deserves so much more attention than other games. But that's just my opinion. Let me know yours, guys. I will see you later. Thanks for watching.